Okay, and there's about 7 or 8 this year. We have Jared Yoakum on piano, who has done just a marvelous job for 6 years in jazz band. Jared. In the trumpet section, Cameron Parente has been the lead trumpet this year, and I think that there's been times this year between jazz band and concert band, and there's times where I'll look at Cameron and I'll, are you able to do that? Yep, Mrs. Ross, I got it. And then we'll come to a performance and it's like, dude, you got it. And it's just like, there's a quiet leadership with Cameron that I've really appreciated, and I'm gonna miss that next year. So thank you, Cameron. David Fitzpatrick has been in the trombone section, and actually David is one of the students that's been in Jazz 1 all 4 years of high school. Okay? And and I hope you enjoyed what you've done if you've been willing to stick it out with me for 5 years, because, well, I didn't have you in 7th grade though. In 7th grade jazz band, no. But in jazz band, I've had you for 5 years. And I appreciate all you've done, because you're another one that's been a quiet leader. And David is very analytical of his playing. When he's working on that solo, and hey, I'll give you another shot at doing that. Oh, I know it wasn't very good. And it's like, no, you did a good solo. I just want to give you more practice playing it with the group. So thank you, David. Okay, and then we have the saxophone section. 4 of the saxophones are graduating this year. Corey, who I have so appreciated having Corey in jazz band this year, because Corey has this sense of humor. Number one, he has a sense of humor that I really appreciate, and those of you that know me well enough know that I can appreciate a good laugh. But there have been times when we worked on solos that Corey has come up with some of the coolest solos that maybe you'd haven't heard in a performance. But boy, what I hear in the room, I'm just thinking, dude, that was awesome. So thank you, Corey. Dakota Hamilton is another one who, this is his 3rd year in Jazz 1? 3rd year in Jazz 1. And he's another one that's a very quiet leader, where I never have to worry that Dakota will have his parts learned, okay? Always plays his parts well, okay? And that quiet leadership is something that I greatly appreciated. While I'm speaking about Dakota, there's an award that we give in the jazz band, and that's the Louis Armstrong Award, where I ask the students to, if you're going to pick one student to represent our jazz band, and this is the Jazz 1 and Jazz 2 both vote on this, and this year's Louis Armstrong Award winner is Dakota Hamilton. I said I would hug you, but we're both really sweaty, and it's just, be nice about that. Haley is in jazz. Haley is one of the people, one of the 2, because Chase is also in jazz 2. But Haley is one this year that every morning when there's jazz band, she is here 5 mornings a week. And you may not think that that's a big deal, but it kind of is when you look at how busy kids are these days. And this morning we had our last rehearsal, and we ran through Goodbye My Heart, and I looked at her, and she looked like she didn't feel well, and I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, well, I was up until 4 o'clock doing homework, and I thought, okay, so what teachers give homework to the seniors on the last day? But she said every class, okay? So this is a little different kind of homework, because I hope it was slightly enjoyable, but I've really enjoyed having you in Jazz 1 this year, so congratulations. And Russell Rose, who is I gotta see water. I'm so thirsty, I don't have any tears today. But Russell Rose is one where he's another one where it's enthusiasm about what he's doing, about what he's playing. Whenever we have a tune that has a solo, almost always volunteers to solo, and has done some wonderful solo work on some of the performances that we've had this year. We played at Central Michigan University, and it's like when it's our second performance of the year when we play at Central, and we're kind of competing against bands that have been rehearsing since the beginning of the year. I'm always proud when we can have a good performance. We went to Western, did at least one new tune at Western, and you know, Russell did some great solo work, but Russell did an awesome job this year and last year, and this is your third year also? 3 years in Jazz 1, so thank you. I'm going to see you next year. And to all of the seniors, I know that a couple of you have music on your agenda. Jared's off to Belmont University to major in music education. But even for students, I know that there are some that are going on to other places, studying engineering and other veterinary medicine, education. But I hope that you all find an opportunity to keep music in your life, to be able to have an opportunity to perform. Keep those skills up, because you never know when you can make a buck, okay? Or when it can do your heart some good, because when you're brain fried from all of your really, really hard classes, get out your horn and practice and play something a little bit and just kind of relive those days. So my hats are off. My hat's off to the class of 2015.
My name is David Fitzpatrick. I'm a trombonist. I'm a senior. And she says, yeah, it's senior night for all of us, but you know, she thanked a lot of people, and there's one person that hasn't been thanked yet, and that is Mrs. Ross. So we have some things. Guys, going on, all right? Good. They listen to my instructions. That's good. Nobody does that. Yeah, it's incredible. I've been in jazz band for 6 years, 5 years with Mrs. Ross, and honestly, I cannot imagine anything better than this. Music, the arts, they're a class that are insanely unique, because they're the one place where you can have the same teachers for several years. I've been Mr. Garcia for 4 years in marching band, and 3 in symphonic and winds, and 5 years with Mrs. Ross, and it's amazing because you don't get that sort of relationship with any other teachers, really. So, to Mrs. Ross, who's been a big part of all of our lives for a very, very, very long time, I want to say thank you. Our senior alto saxophone player, she made this. She's an insanely awesome artist.
She is. Go on the district website, because your stuff is still up on there. You have to go find her to go see it. It's great.
She's really, really good. I asked her on Monday if she would make a card for Mrs. Ross, and no hesitation, she said, yes, absolutely, I would love to. And we also, because Mrs. Ross is a teacher, and she always says, you know, I haven't had my coffee, or I've had too much coffee. Based on our tempos when we're rehearsing, we got a $25 gift card to Starbucks. So Mrs. Ross, from all of us, thank you so much for everything you've done.
So our last tune that we're going to do to close out the evening is called Groove Merchant. It's going to feature our